I'm sorry. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Well, that's the
you
game
wouldn't have
theory
done
I'm
that.
talking
You
about.
wouldn't have. You
No,
wouldn't
and
have done
that's
that
not,
before.
that's not an immediate.
No, you wouldn't
that's
have done
not
that
who
before.
I am. That's
No.
not what I believe.
It is the
Oh, really? Then who are you? What do you believe, Charlie Kirk? Because you know what I think when I see a white guy of medium to low intelligence with a huge audience because he spews racist and other bigoted ideas? I think they've been handed everything they've ever had. Do you know how difficult it probably was for that black pilot to get where they are? Don't project your shit onto them. Just because your path to fame and fortune was paved with gold doesn't mean that's how it's been for everybody else.
They were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad. It was evil. But what happened? Something changed. They committed less crimes.
Maybe they were afraid. I mean, 4,000 black men, women, and children were killed in violent lynch mobs.
That's your explanation, but
racial terror permeated American culture for hundreds of years.
Black America is worse than it has been
that
in the last
affected
80 years.
the generational psyche of an entire group of people?
No, I'm sure it did. I'm not discounting that. I'm just, what percentage of America is black? 13%. What percentage of the murders in America are committed by black people?
I don't know the specific statistics.
Yes, it's
50%.
It's 60%.
But do you feel like these populations or these communities have been overly populated by police officers?
Well, maybe when you do 60% of the killings and you're 13% of America, more cops should be around your neighborhood.
There's not an equal number of cops in the white suburban neighborhoods
Because
in the
there's
same
not as
neighborhood.
much murder. Let's say DEI. A project of DEI at United Airlines was that we want to get 40% of our pilots to be black or women of color, or women or people of color.
40%.
50. I'm sorry, to get up to 50. It was at like 6%. So therefore, they wanted to make a push towards that, and it was currently at 6%. We look at that and we say, wow, you're going to have to lower standards to get to that goal.
Why would you have to lower standards?
Well, because
are you saying that black people are inherently inferior?
I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying that black people are only 13% of the population. So you want 13% of the population.
Women are not 13% of the population. Women are 50% of the population.
Yeah, but women do not make up a majority of people that want to become pilots. In fact, the vast majority of women don't want to be pilots.
Maybe they would want to become pilots if the barriers for entry.
If you were to board a flight with United Airlines, would you rather have a pilot that is qualified or one that is diverse? Answer the question.
Wait, that makes no sense. Why is there two different things? How is it different? When you go to American Airlines...
Because in the pursuit of diversity, you sacrifice excellence every time. We know this with Harvard. Right. We know this with Yale. We know this with the military. Right. Every time, every example that we pursue diversity, an institution becomes less excellent. If you're going to go from 4% of the pilots being black to 50% of the pilots to be black, it begs the question, you are going to lower the standards.
So my
you're going to put a square peg through a round hole. You are going to force something that naturally is not happening. And you will all of a sudden be playing a very treacherous and dangerous game when you board a plane.
A lot of black Americans and Africans are asking many questions why some black people are mourning or feeling sorry for the death of Charlie Kirk. Let me tell you, Charlie Kirk might be a racist, but that was his opinion. And opinions are not valid. Opinions are to be considered. Either you take it or not. It's up to you. Whatever Charlie Kirk was preaching, either his preachings were hate speech or any sort of racism. That was his opinion. And opinions are not valid. Opinions are valid to people who accept it. But generally, opinions are not valid. That is why you can tell your opinion and I can tell my opinion. We can share ideas. And it doesn't mean I am right. And it doesn't mean you are wrong or you are right and I am wrong. So whatever Charlie Kirk was preaching, either he was preaching against black people or he was preaching in the favor of the white race, either he was a white supremacist, that was his opinion. We are not forced to accept his opinions. He was who he was. That is it. So people are also asking, either Charlie Kirk was a racist or not. Yes, indeed, he was a racist. There is no doubt about that because his speech, his videos are there. We can go back and make reference. He was a highly racist person. And that was his belief. That was his opinion. And that is why I'm telling you that opinions are not valid. That was his ideas. And he was preaching whatever ideas that he was preaching. And those who believe in him, those who believe in his ideologies, accepted it and put them into practice. So either he was preaching hatred or he was preaching freedom, he was preaching love and peace. That was his opinions. And they were not valid. It's either you accept or you reject. That was not the truth. That was his opinion. I hear some white people who were supporting him when he was alive and still support him right now after his passing, saying that whatever Charlie Kirk was preaching was nothing but the truth. But that was his opinion. That was not the truth. So calm down, my black people across the globe. Either Charlie Kirk was against us or not, that was his opinion. If someone asks me today if Charlie Kirk got humanity, I would say no. Because when we talk about humanity, we are talking about humans. How to be good to humans. How to show affection, love, appreciation, care for humans. That is humanity. That is all what humanity is about. And humans, when we talk about humans, it doesn't mean only the white race. We are not talking about the white race only. When we talk of humans, we are talking about the black race, the white race, Indian, Chinese. We come together to form the human race. So to all the black people out there, I will not turn a blind eye to the fact that Charlie Kirk was against the black race. Yes, indeed, he was highly racist and a white supremacist who never spoke anything good about the black race. Whatever that he said about the black race was horrible. But we cannot be happy for another man's death. I think we are all in grief. We are all mourning the passing of Charlie Kirk because he's also a human being. And we've lost a great person. Aside his narrative that we don't agree with him, aside his opinions that are not valid, that are not the truth, he's also a human being. And to those his supporters, those who believe that the only human race is the white race, those who believe that the only, good people that deserve to exist on this planet are the white race, they call his ideologies, his opinions, the truth. But opinions are never valid. But anyway, may his soul rest in peace.